Hi guys, welcome to the channel again. So finally got an alternator, a brand new one for my spare alternator that decided it didn't want to charge anymore. So I finally tracked down a new alternator. I've been meaning to do this for some time and going to install it now. So as you can see, I've built this car to be very easy to work on. If you haven't seen this car before or new to the channel and you're looking at this radiator and you're thinking that looks pretty average, well, the thing is, the radiator that I had for it, that I was racing the last 2 years with, is right there. It's bent, twisted, and not. Tried to patch it up a few times and it's really not in a very good state of affairs. So I done a passenger ride day with this car and I had this spare radiator sitting around and just rigged it up in there just to do the passenger ride day, to take people for a ride in it. So yeah, it's definitely coming out. Definitely gonna put a radiator in it that is what it's meant to be. I'll probably just get a BEAMS AE86 radiator as opposed to a custom one that I had there, just to save a bit of money, because I don't have a lot of money at the moment, but it is what it is. Anyway, let's get this alternator changed. So as you can see, contestant number 1, 2 and 3 being different, but we have an adapter plug here for it. So yeah, that's the one from the motor originally. This is a spare one I had off the other motor and it failed as well, but I suppose it's 25 years old, so it's bound to fail, and they don't like the higher revs that these motors put out. So yeah, in with the new. Rightio, so I just sat it in there to see if it'll fit. It doesn't really fit. So that's also a 5 pk. What's on the car is a 4 pk. So this is the new one that I've got. Happens to be pretty much the same as this one for the Supra. So these are the two beams here. So even though it's a 5 pk, it'll still work because you just line it up on the back ribs and leave that front one. So that still lines up. The problem is these holes here, where it pivots and clamps to here in its adjustment from center of hole to center of hole on these are 5mm shorter than what the BEAMS alternators are. So they're about 165 and these are 160 roughly. I don't have a pair of verniers that can stretch out that far, so I've roughly eyeballed it with a tape measure. So back to the original dilemma, trying to find an alternator or find someone that can rebuild them. Back to the drawing board. Anyway, it's the joys of cars, I guess. There's always a curveball somewhere, especially with a bit of a mismatched car that the Sprinter is, with the BEAMS motor from around 2003, 4 or 5, somewhere around there, probably 4 or 5, being a G5. And yeah, it is what it is, I guess. So I'll go back to the local parts supply down the road and See if we can source another one that's roughly the same dimensions, and if it's a different plug, hopefully they've got an adapter plug for that and we can get it to work. So didn't go very far today. I was kind of hoping that I'd get it in and be able to run the car up and see those magic numbers come up on the dash. It was between 13.8 to 14.2, 14.3, but obviously not to be. Anyway, we'll keep looking for another alternator and see how we go. Stay tuned.